Org. We're a nonprofit organization. We're located in Stevensville, Montana, and one of our missions is to coordinate with families to help them realize that they have great possibilities by bringing in a mindfulness education to their families in terms of a yoga and a meditation. How important it is for kids at a young age to begin this process, to be able to think about how they can use themselves as a resource in certain situations, whether they're happy and excited or they're nervous or anxious or calm. And so we provide education through Carolslight, and my name is Debbie, and I own a yoga business, Six Hearts Yoga, and I am privileged to partner with them to bring you this tutorial. And every once in a while you come along a product that just helps you engage in your own motivations but need a little bit of help. And I ran across a company that's called Little Renegades. They're located in California, and they offer the best set of visual cards that help you with younger children. It does start from the ages 3 and up, but what a great opportunity to engage. And this set is a mindful for bedtime and also mindful kids. Each one of the individual cards is just beautifully artist decorated with very nice watercolors on them. And then on the back they have tips that go along with what they're asking you to assist your little ones with. And so in this tutorial I just wanted to go over what I would be doing or showing you in terms of if you had maybe 1, 2, or 3 little groups, or even if you're a yoga instructor and have maybe a little bit more kids, even up to 5 and 6. These are just a great tool to be able to assist even the kind of unknown moms that, or dads even, that don't do yoga but want to bring this mindfulness attitude into their lives. Helping our children at a young age become resourceful to help them engage in their own responses just can't come soon enough. So I hope you'll enjoy this tutorial. Sit back, and thank you very much for watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask my group of kids, and I have my little teddy bear and I have my little sheep right here. I want to make sure it's a comfortable environment for the kids, and if they need to have a little blankie and also water, then please provide that. We want to make it in a comfortable arena, in a setting. You can sit on a carpet, you can sit in a mat, maybe you have a room at home that you can just dedicate for this. You might want to do it every night. You might want to pick Monday, Wednesdays. You might want to say moms Tuesdays, Thursdays, dad or Sunday nights. But engage with the family if you can, and bring in older kids to actually assist as well. It does say 3 years and up, but it actually brings light to all ages as well, even myself included. So I'm going to ask the little ones to come in and sit down, sit cross-legged, which is called an easy seat. And we're just going to go ahead and just be very relaxed. We're going to take a deep breath in, which will be through your nose, and we're going to exhale through our mouth. Your mouth can be opened or it can be closed, either way you want to do it. So one more time, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. That one I chose to exhale with my mouth open, and that's actually called the ocean breath, because you actually can hear kind of the sound of a wave. One more time, deep breath in, exhale. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move on to the turtle tap. That's going to be our first yoga sequence. We can stay seated just like we are, no problem. We're going to ask you to take your fingers, and we're going to go ahead and ask you, there's a imaginary string on top of the crown of your head, and I want you just to pull on that just a little bit. Go ahead and show your little one if you need to, because that way it straightens the spine, brings your head into a forward gaze, and then we're going to take our fingertips and we're going to pretend our crown of our head is like the shell of a turtle, kind of hard and round. So we're going to do the turtle tap. We're just going to take our little fingers and we're going to tap around our head, just get that little feeling. It's almost kind of like the idea of an acupuncture. Just tap, tap, tap. I'm going to ask you to bring your fingers down over your eyebrows. Bring it around to the back of your ears and tap, 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 tap down to your neck. Go ahead and tap across to your shoulders. Tap, tap, tap across. And then I'm going to ask you to tap and bring it down and just stop right at your heart. And now take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And the tapping that we just did actually just helps to negate any negative emotions. It brings a child to stop and be present. So that is really a nice benefit to knowing how to use the turtle tap. Maybe if you're sitting at a dinner table, or if you're even engaged and your child is trying to get your attention, you can look at them and maybe wink and say, let's do the turtle tap. There you go. The second is going to be the raccoon freeze. And kids really do enjoy this. And what I like about Little Renegades card set is that they really captivate kind of nature. And nature and yoga has such a positive effect on everybody. So let's do the raccoon freeze. And what you could do is you can just ask your child to just release, roll his shoulders, and just wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Their hands up, their knees maybe, and then freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Kids love doing that. Good job. So let's take a deep breath in. And what the purpose of the raccoon wiggle is to make the kids engage with their body and then to freeze and become in the present. It's always a good time to engage in conversation if you can and have the time as well. Just ask them very cautiously or very quietly, what was it like to be still? They'll give you some pretty good answers. And so we're going to go ahead and now switch over, and we're going to be an owl on a tree. And this one here is, we're going to ask our students to again come back into a nice seat. Make sure our head is strong and tall. Have them gaze forward, and they can actually close their eyes. And I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then on the exhale, I just want you to ask them to be still and calm. And just go ahead and open their eyes and look to the left and look to the right, look to the sky and look to the ground. And then when they come back forward, go ahead and ask them to take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And the purpose of an owl being silent and still is really the beginning of even a meditation introduction. Just those 3 seconds or just the stillness for that little body to relax, because it shows how they can go from wiggle, wiggle, wiggle with the raccoon to just being still like an owl. Make sure that you give them encouragement and say, good job. And the last that I have going on is called the sleepy cow. Everybody loves to drive by out in a beautiful ranch area or on a drive in a lovely field and see a lazy cow either munching on grass or actually laying down. So if your little one wants to lay down and you want them to be silent and still, fine. And if you'd like them to remain in their nice seated position, then what we're going to do is we're just going to have them for a minute close their eyes, just concentrate on their belly a little bit in terms of how they breathe. You can even ask them to put their hand on their stomach. And when they breathe in, the belly expands. It's like a balloon. And when they exhale, it disappears. It actually engages with their spine. It brings their spine up nice and tall and their head. And so all of it becomes into alignment. That is just so simple with even a sleepy cow laying down and sitting with that explanation. So as they either are laying down or they're in their nice, still sleepy cow position, just going to ask you to take 3 nice breaths, just a little concentrating on the breath in and the breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. You can even ask your little one to do the cueing for you too. Ask them to do the breathe in and breathe out. And again, the purpose for this is to have them remain quiet and still, to engage in themselves, and to find that calmness that they may not otherwise have. And again, this is another introduction to a mindful awareness of how you can be anywhere at any time and just cue your child if they might be anxious or nervous about something. You know, you can give them a little wink and say, how about being a sleepy cow? Or how about being a raccoon wiggle? These really offer an engagement even outside of the class that you just did with them. In closing, I'd just like to say thank you so much for listening to this introduction that we have going on with Carolslight as well as Six Hearts Yoga. And I'd like you each to just sit very nice and quietly, engage in a nice inhale. And as you exhale, I'd just like you to say, peace begins with me. Inhale, exhale, peace begins with me.